Hello everybody, and I'm happy to see you back to my channel. And today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. When last time I mentioned Studer and Telefunken machines in the same context, I made some comparisons. And some of you asked me this question: how does their sound quality compare? So basically today we're going to try to ascertain the differences, if any, and try to pick the winner between these two fine machines. Comparing the sound quality of two high-grade pieces of equipment is never easy, and we're going to touch a little bit on some of methodology of such comparison. So as you can see here, these two machines, they are already connected to the selector switch. So the output of Studer and output of Telefunken go to very high quality selector. And from there they go to the main preamp in the system. So that pretty much makes it very easy to switch between the two. We are going to be listening to a selection from this very fine, exceptionally good album. I know this album very well, so I can make very good comparison between the machines. It will be a little bit more difficult to you, but hopefully you can see through it. Now, in terms of setting up the machines for this test, there are a couple of things you have to do. One is to match their gains. And the gains of these two machines being set precisely the same, I spent a lot of time adjusting the gain. And today they're within 0.1 or 2 dB from each other, which is very, very tight. Now, one machine will be playing the original tape, and the other one will be playing a copy I made, sort of safety copy. And it is very, very close copy indeed. I ran those two side by side before, and I know they're very, very close. Yes, you can say that one with an original now will have some benefit. Yes, that's a reasonable assumption, but it's not really so in reality. We have done this type of comparison using these very tapes before, and just to eliminate this particular aspect, we swapped the tapes, and our findings remain the same. So at this point I feel very secure in saying that the source material is very much the same on both machines. I think the format of today's video precludes us from doing the swapping tapes between the machines. So let's go ahead with what we have on hand right now and see where it gets us. Both machines will be running tape simultaneously, so you will not be able to tell which machine is producing sound at each moment. And we're going to do two segments. First one machine and then the second. And I will invite you to play this selection as many times as you want, possibly to get a good fix on differences, if any, in sound quality between these two machines. A couple of words on the Studer connection. Normally it plays through this head preamp, but for today's test that connection was broken. The red board on the left is an adapter board that allows you to connect the external preamplifier directly to the head on the Studer. For today's test, I put back in the original Studer modules, and that's what we're going to be using. Couple more points. Studer has butterfly heads. The heads on the Telefunkens are of more conventional type. They have narrow poles. So right off the bat, you can say the Studer has some disadvantage. Well, we'll see to that. And so with that in mind, the contestants are ready and we can begin our test. We're gonna play it completely one first cut, then rewind the tapes and play again. And as I mentioned, we'll switch the machine in the meantime. Now, while the machines are rewinding, let me make a couple more points. One is that you notice that camera is placed pretty far from the equipment. That's because I wanted to be close to center sweet spot in the system for the best possible sound pickup. Hopefully you get very good sound on your system. And the second point, watch that XY display on the oscilloscope. It can be very entertaining to watch it. So with some experience, you will start obtaining meaningful information from that display. That's why I almost always have it connected to the playing system, and I spend a lot of time watching it. And now it's time to play the second machine. So that pretty much concludes our comparison stage. A few words about watching that XY display. You can see it working now. And basically the channel 1 is displayed horizontally and channel 2 is displayed vertically. So when you see diagonal line, kind of like what you've just been seeing, that means the source is very close to the middle. If the source was on the left, you will be seeing horizontal line. Most of the time, though, you're going to have some kind of pattern, which depends on the distribution, sound distribution around the stage. So that concludes our today's session. Let me know what you think about this type of testing, whether you've been able to tell any differences between the two machines. So thank you very much for coming here again, and hope to see you next time. Goodbye.